we are just over a month away from the start of the 2026 NASCAR season with the 68th running of the Daytona 500 on February 15th. And this year, racing fans will get to see NASCAR hit iconic speedways, historic tracks, even an active military base for the first time. For more, let me bring in Ricky Stenhouse Jr., driver of the number 47 Hyak Motorsports Chevrolet. Good morning to you. Thanks for hopping back on the program.
It's always good to be on. Man, like you said, 2026 has got a lot of cool things coming up for us in the NASCAR season. And obviously our biggest race being the Daytona 500, February 15th at 2:30 on Fox is what I'm really kind of focused on to start the season. I want to get another Daytona 500 trophy. But yeah, going out to San Diego, going back to Chicagoland, got a lot of cool things happening this 2026 season.
Yeah, and so you won the Daytona 500 a couple years back, 2023. You know, tell me your game plan. What do you need to do to finish this year's race in victory again?
Yeah, the Daytona 500 is a crazy race. You know, truly anybody in the field can win the race. And you know, I think you don't really ever know what's going to happen until, you know, those last couple of laps. So we've put ourselves in position to win that race, you know, missing some of the wrecks, good strategy calls, and a fast race car. So my Hyak Motorsports team has done a great job giving me those race cars when we get to Daytona. And I don't know, there's just magic in the air there. You know, when you're going for a Daytona 500, you know, some guys try their whole career to win one. I'm glad that we've got that marked off the list, as you see there. A ton of different drivers winning the race, but we'd like to add another one.
Yeah, it's electric and it's all American. You got a lot of eyeballs on you. We know that on Monday, NASCAR is going to announce a new championship format for this upcoming season and beyond. What kind of changes are you expecting, but also hoping for?
Yeah, I think for me, I'm expecting a little bit of change. I think for the most part, it'll be, you know, somewhat similar. But, you know, I've always believed that, you know, we should probably go to a few different racetracks, get a little bit of an average, whether it be a 3-race, 4-race championship stretch versus a 1-race. You know, I do enjoy, you know, the playoff format. I think, you know, we've done a great job, you know, making things exciting with the playoff format. Just seems like we're going to tweak it a little bit. I'm excited to see exactly what that is come Monday.
Yeah, surprises are in store for everybody. The thing I mentioned off the top that I'm really fascinated by is the active military base, right? I mean, we're less than 6 months away from NASCAR's San Diego race weekend at Naval Base Coronado. How exciting must that be for you, you know, to take part in this first ever race at any sort of military base?
It's going to be crazy. It's going to be wild. You know, our military, whether it be on the Naval Base, Air Force, you name it, they're massive fans of racing, and our fans are, you know, big supporters of our armed forces. And so to be able to go out there to San Diego, put on a race, you know, NASCAR's kind of done the unthinkable over the last few years, going to, you know, downtown Chicago, the LA Coliseum, and then now a naval base. So they've really put their heads together and thought all this through. I think Ben Kennedy and his team has done a really good job of leading us in good places, and a lot of us are excited to get out there.
Yeah, I field anchored that race here in Chicago, and it was just awesome to see. But I feel like this one in particular will just send chills down your spine. You know, lastly, NASCAR is suddenly flush with all these talented young drivers. You've got rookie phenom and friend of the show, Connor Zilisch, who will run full-time in the Cup Series this year after dominating the NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series last year. You won that series championship twice, I believe, right, during your early career?
Yes.
How difficult is that transition from the secondary circuit to a Cup Series?
It's very difficult. You know, I mean, I came out of at the time, the NASCAR O'Reilly Parts, you know, series and thought I was going to, you know, just win races right off the bat. Back in 2013, we had won 2 championships and plenty of races, and you got humbled pretty quick. You know, it's just like going from, you know, minor league to Major League Baseball. It's everybody's good. Everybody's, you know, proven what they can do and won races to get to that level. And, you know, just the competition's tough, but Connor's a great kid. He'll do a great job. And he's a lot of fun to hang out with. We got a lot of new faces, coming through our sport, and it's really neat to kind of see that transition. I got to race with guys like Jeff Gordon, Tony Stewart, Dale Earnhardt Jr., Kevin Harvick, and all these different drivers. And now you're kind of seeing that next wave come in. It's cool to be a part of it still.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.